Garrett Foster violated another man's rights. As you can see clearly in the video, which I'm sure you've seen by now, the man's car was not moving. He was trying to get through, and in the still shot, which I'll throw up for you now, it is clear and evident that there were people on the hood of his car blocking him from moving, and Garrett Foster, this hero, is brandishing an AK-47 at his window in a threatening posture. Now, what did the person do in the car? The person defended himself. Ask yourself, what would you do if a loaded AK-47 was pointed at your window and people were preventing you from leaving? People with a history of violent acts. What would you do? Me personally, I believe the man was justified, and the APD has currently released him. Now, I'm sure the new liberal DA will have something to say about that, and we'll possibly see an exciting court case up in the future. But ask yourself, did Garrett Foster get what he deserved? And I have to answer that question honestly with yes. Garrett Foster was out there looking for trouble.
It's AK-47.
What you got it out tonight?
They don't let us march in the streets anymore, so got to practice some of our rights.
Cool, man. Do you feel like you'll need to use it?
Nah, I think if I use it against the cops, I'm dead. And I think all the people that hate us and, want to say to us are too big of pussies to stop and actually do anything about it. So,
What?
He'd been out there for over 50 days. They brag about it. He brags in a video. It's like it's like a drunk at a bar looking for a fight. Sometimes, eventually, you're going to get one. And when you threaten people in their cars, in Texas, even in Austin, in Texas, if you threaten people in their cars, you're going to get what's coming to you. I mean, I'm surprised this hasn't happened sooner. I'm surprised there aren't more incidents of this, especially in Texas, because you can't be a violent mob here. That's just not allowed. That's just not our culture. And even in Austin, even in this blue hellhole, this blue stain on Texas, there's still people that aren't going to tolerate your crap. And this whole thing gets back into the idea of LARPing. Well, what is LARPing? The definition of LARPing is live action role playing. And that's exactly what these people are doing. These high schoolers, these college kids, they all go out there to stand for social justice, and then they put on their costumes, they put on their masks, they put on their body armor, they get their guns, and they go and harass people. They go and burn down federal buildings. They go and loot and riot because there's no consequence because the cops stand down. Well, sometimes when the cops aren't there, normal citizens have to take the law into their own hands. Now, that's not what that guy did in the car. The guy in the car was just defending himself. But this should be a warning to all Antifa leftist people that if you go and try to destroy other people's property, if you go and threaten people with guns, sometimes there's going to be shots returned at you. Sometimes there's going to be payment for your actions. Sometimes you're going to have to face consequences. Sometimes you have to take what's coming to you. And that's what happened here. Garrett Foster had military training, from what I know. He was a caretaker of a quadriplegic woman. That's all great. It didn't stop him from being a communist asshole and going out and picking fights with people. And we shouldn't be treating him as a martyr or a hero. He's not Jesus Christ. I've already seen fundraisers and all kinds of crap. This man, knowingly and willingly, as a caretaker of a disabled woman, went out looking for a fight, LARPing with his gun, and pointed it at the window of a man in a car that was not moving, was being prevented from moving by the mob. Garrett Foster paid the price for his actions the moment he raised the barrel of his gun. Garrett Foster should have realized that he was in Texas, not California, not Seattle, not a communist state. And that in Texas, we have stand your ground laws, and in Texas, we respect the Second Amendment. These people, they complain, they whine, they screech about being prosecuted and the cops coming to stop them when they burn down federal buildings like it's a violation of their rights. You have the right to peaceably assemble and protest. You don't have the right to loot and burn. Looting and burning is wrong. What Garrett Foster did was wrong. What all of the Antifa people out there causing destruction and looting to property are doing is wrong. It's all wrong. But because the media ignores it and focuses on the white supremacist under everyone's bed, which doesn't really exist, they continue on with their actions because they don't realize there's a consequence. Do these people think they're fighting the system? Are you really fighting the system when you are actively a part of it? When every company and major brand supports Black Lives Matter, are you really a revolutionary? Are you really Che Guevara? Are you really Lenin when you go out and you're part of the mainstream team? No. You've been given a free pass to act like an idiot, to advance a couple billionaires' political agendas, and you go out like trained animals and you do it. You pay the price for your actions, play stupid games, and you win stupid prizes. What happened to Garrett Foster was justified. Sorry, it's the truth. I know some of y'all don't want to hear it because you'd rather be willfully blind. But what Garrett Foster did was not only wrong because he did it, it's wrong because of all the other people in his life. It's not morally right for him to be out there for over 50 days looking for trouble when he's a caretaker of a quadriplegic woman. That's not right. It's wrong. But he didn't care enough about that woman to take care of her. He cared more about himself and being a superstar, so he wanted to go out and cause trouble. And hey, he got his story, only now he's in the ground. Now he's dead. What do you think about that, leftists? He's dead now. He's never going to be able to take care of that woman again, which he was doing a great job of doing and up until these protests, because he was greedy and self-centered and he wanted media attention. I'm going to throw the still frame picture up again just so you can see it, because I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate for this video. But Garrett Foster pointed his gun at a parked car that the Antifa/BLM protesters were preventing from moving. He pointed his gun at the car. And was a threat. And that threat was eliminated. Garrett Foster, may he rest in peace, committed a crime, and he paid the price for it. You happy now? You guys said you wanted blood in the streets. Here you go. It's your blood. You're the bad actors. You're the evil people. You're the people that need to be stopped. Stop LARPing. Stop it. You're not going to win. You go out and you act all brave and tough. What does braveness and toughness get you? When you're looting federal buildings, when you're destroying black-owned community businesses, when you see black store owners crying about having their windows bashed in and their stores and their lives destroyed, everything they've built up from the ground despite hardship that you've looted and rioted and destroyed in the name of progress and equality. Stop trying to tear down the system, because the system is going to tear down you. I'm Rex Jones with Dr. Silence.